Welcome to New in Box Engine video series number 11. I know I said that number 10 was going to be the last one, but guess what? Things have changed. And there might actually be a number 12 too, so who knows. Anyway, I know I say this a lot in my videos, but this is really absolutely one of my favorite Saito engines of all time. Now, I love so many of the Saito engines, but this one is truly one of my favorites, and this one actually came with an extra special surprise, something that I had never seen before, something I never knew before, and I will get to that at the end of the video. So it's a little bit of Saito history that maybe many of you don't know about, and it's something that you should definitely be looking for. Anyway, what I have on the table today is my latest Saito acquisition, which I've had probably 3 or 4 of these in the past, and this is one of my favorites, as I said. It is the Saito FA-45 Special. Now, I've had a couple, I've had a few of these. I know I've had one other new in the box one. I think the last new in the box one I had, I believe it was new in the box, was a gold and black series from the 90s. They did not continue that for very long. They did not continue the 45 special into the 2000s, or the 45 at all, really. But the thing that's so wonderful about this is this color box style is from the probably the late 80s, I would say. In fact, I'm sure it's from the late 80s. And here, this was a special edition offer. It says free limited, special limited offer, velocity stack intake included in this box. And this is kind of one of those things, so it's always cool to see as you get one of these. And then the other thing that's really interesting here is this price tag, that sticker right there. Hopefully you can see that. If not, I'll cut and paste and zoom it in there. But it says, this is a retail sticker that the hobby store that bought this engine from Saito puts on there. And to me, I think it tells some information that's important. Well, first of all, it says the price, which was $169.95. And down here at the bottom, as I've mentioned in other videos before, I believe that these last numbers could indicate a date code, because a lot of times they'll put a marking, or they'll set their little sticker tool with a date code, so they'll know when this thing hit the shelf or whatever. And if that is correct, the date code here would be November 3rd, 1989. That fits the time period for this engine. So let's open this up and see what all is in here. Now, this is complete to the best of my knowledge of what a late 80s engine is. And we'll get to this part here, the manual and the other stuff here eventually. But let me take that stuff out. Let me take the engine out. Let me make sure there's nothing else hidden under this box. There isn't. So here is our beautiful engine. Let me zoom in just a bit here. Yeah, maybe not quite that much. But as you can see, it's branded with the 45 Special tag on the side. Saito here. Now let's see. It's a little dark. G. There's a G. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it there on there. So this is obviously not one of the earliest ones. But you'll also notice that there is no Horizon Hobby Diamond HH. And the box should have told you that, because Horizon never imported boxes of that vintage. So this is a pre-Horizon Hobby engine, and you can tell the throttle linkages kind of has that 90-degree outward as opposed to just being a black one. So I mean, this is a true earlier version engine, one of my favorite engines of all time. So this one is a keeper without a doubt. Now, let's set this right here, still in frame, but let's look at all the stuff that came with this engine. So there's a little screwdriver here. I believe that's going to be for tappet adjustment. Here's our little exhaust stub, which is unsealed or unopened, completely brand new, as all of this stuff is. Unsealed, unopened. This is the tools. There's our little feeler gauge. Here's it talks about all the stuff that's in this box, or in this, included in the engine, because the P2 glow plug obviously isn't, and some of that. So this is the other adjustment tool for the tappet, and some wrenches. High-speed needle, still sealed in a bag. And then, as they promised on the side there, they include a velocity stack. And you can see this is something, a hanger that would be in a hobby store sold as an accessory item. So this is a very cool thing because it validates this completely, because it shows that this isn't included in here. It's one of these wall hangers that they just took off and put in the box. So that's super cool. So this engine is wonderful. Now, let's get to the documentation package, because like I said, I was blown away by what I'm about to show you in here, because there's some things here that I've never seen before. First of all, I've never had, make sure there's nothing else in here, I've never actually had one of these older manuals like this that says FA-40 Special, FA-45 Special, ABC. Now, you may be asking and wondering, why do they call it special? And I'll tell you why. I wasn't sure about the 40, but I think I've actually had a 40 Special. I wish I had another one because those are really rare. But what makes these special is that it's the cam timing gear, camshaft, and the lobes, the way they've got it timed, and I think maybe even the shape of the lobes is what makes it a special engine. Now, it makes it a little bit higher power, and from this point on, from the 45 on, they adopted and used that same shape timing of the cam lobes for the 50, 56, and on. So obviously, prior to the special editions, just the 30s and the 40s that they were putting out, they had a milder timing setup. Well, that's what indicates this as a special. And so we've got our instruction manual here that's complete, just beautiful. I just really geek out on a bunch of this kind of stuff, but the geeking out has not even begun yet. Let's see here. So, I mean, every piece of paper that they put in an engine came with this. So this is as complete as can possibly be. This is super cool too. The decals that say 45S. Super cool. And then of course our customer warranty, which also validates that this is not Horizon Hobby. I've shown this on many other before. Just another validation that it's not a Horizon Hobby engine. Here's another piece of paper. Talks about oil quality, methanol requirements, corrosion inhibitors, storage of fuel. That's interesting. Storage temperature should be approximately between 32 and 80 degrees F. Storage of fuel. Well, my fuel has been stored in the garage here in Wisconsin at much lower than that. Anyway, consumer warranty registration card. Now, let's get to the part that just freaking totally blew me away. As always, they will have this marketing literature. And the marketing literature can tell you a lot of stuff. And this particular piece of marketing literature taught me something that I never knew about. And it talks about the origins of the Gold Knight series engines. And this blew me away. So, you can see the engines in here. Look at this one here and this one here. Hopefully this thing, it shows those as FA-80 ABC, a special edition black cylinder and gold heads. FA-50 AAC special edition black cylinder and gold heads. That is the beginning of the Gold Knight series. I never knew until I saw this that they actually produced an engine that had an aluminum finished lower case and a black upper cylinder with gold rockers. Now, that blows me away. I've never ever seen one of these two engines listed on eBay. I've never seen one ever. So if you ever find one of these and you can validate at least possibly that it's actual and not one that somebody just made up from different sets of parts, because you could do that too, that would be incredible. That is the origin of the Gold Knight series of engines. I am absolutely certain of it. And what they ended up doing was they're saying, well, why the heck don't we just, black coat the timing cover in the lowercase too? We can do that. Why don't we just do that and call it a Gold Knight engine? Well, that's what they did. So this is an incredible, as the word says here, incredible piece of information and find for me, because that documentation alone was almost worth the price of the engine. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed looking at this new in-box engine and learning something more about this, and now you have something to go out and look for. And if you can find one of those silver and black pre-Gold Knight series engines, please let me know, because I would be super interested in seeing some real pictures of that. Like I said, a person could go out and make one of those if you had a couple of the same engines and you just swapped that out. You could do that easily, but this is the origin of the Gold Knight series of engines. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope you learned something about the Saito engines.